So how do we become more competitive?
Well, I think it starts with doing some homework. I mean, right now, again, I'm in the legislature fairly often, and I keep an eye on it. But if you go to the typical hearing, a bill's introduced, and two sides come in and talk about whether it should be passed or not, and then the committee votes. There isn't a lot of research or homework done, at least not that I know. And there's an ample opportunity for the legislature in particular, or the administration, to find out what successful states are doing. I mean, this isn't rocket science. There are states that are very prosperous and very successful. We're still the richest country in the world. And there are models for how to be more successful. All we have to do is do the research, find out what are the parameters to increase investment, productivity, attract young workforce, people in the workforce, attract innovative, intelligent people that are cutting-edge sectors of the 21st century economy, and be more competitive and bring those things here to Maine, and do it in ways that are consistent with Maine values and the Maine environment. We don't want coal mines here or factories that are polluting, but there are plenty of 21st century sectors that would fit very well in Maine and bring prosperity to us. We need to create the conditions to attract those folks here.
Well, and if you do spend time in the legislature, you do see a lot of reference to things that other states have done, but oftentimes it's not the effects of what other states have done, it's just that they've done it. For example, this bill has passed or this law has passed in another state, therefore we should pass it here. And we tend to, I think, in the legislature rely on the expertise of whoever's presenting that argument, who oftentimes have a self-interest, rather than having sort of an additional review or study that isn't partisan, that isn't necessarily leading them to an answer. And I don't know that we have that, where there are other states and other legislatures that absolutely do. They do a lot of research and analysis at the legislative level.
Well, and you're right, absolutely about that. I mean, almost everybody working in Augusta in the legislature is representing a particular narrow interest. And I think that's the bigger issue. It's not just that there isn't homework and somebody says, well, this bill passed, in California or somewhere else. It's that there isn't a comprehensive strategic plan and comprehensive overview. It's not just why did state X pass that bill? Well, depending on the conditions there may have been reasons why they did or didn't. It's how does it fit into a plan for Maine? I mean, the research that needs to be done is comprehensive and broad. It needs to be visionary and across the board, because you can't, we've gotten where we are in large part because we look at all these public policies in isolation. One at a time, is this a good idea? And we don't look at how it fits into a bigger strategic plan. It's proposed by somebody with a short-term self-interest, and a yes-no decision is made on that particular issue in that particular bill. But there's no homework to say, wait a minute, if we do this, here's what's going to happen to us down the road, or here's how it interacts with other bills, or here's how it does or doesn't fit into something that's a better outcome for everybody.
Or does this put more people into the workforce, give them the skills that they need, provide the technology support that they need, or draw the capital investment for strategic jobs?
Or even if it does, in this particular narrow interest, the consequences on the broader stage are not going to be good down the road. It's too expensive, it's inconsistent, it's going to cause other issues. None of that's examined because the focus is very narrow. And it is about as far as, well, they did it in X state, we should do it here.